Nshinga kanye noSibusiso kwaSangweni ngamasonto njalo ngo6 kuya ku7. Welcome in this drizzling weather yaseLcrest eThekwini zomhla ka10 kuNovember 2024. Muzo lemkele zomnandi odlala ubaba uSipho Gumede from Mr. Jacket Blues from my mother. For my mother ingoma titled The Meeting Point. Usuyazi ukuthi afike leyo 2 nepolitiki. South Africa sithi don't blink because kuthiwa a week in politics is a lifetime, but it doesn't rain, it pours kwezinye inhlangano ngenxa yomkhotho. Welcome ladies and gentlemen, uPhumla Nshinga lo noSibusiso kwaSangweni silethele ipolitiki ngolimi lwakho yaseKZN yaseThekwini South Africa ngendlela ozoyizwa ngayo. Welcome. Together. This show is proudly brought to you by Intaba Minibus Taxi Insurance Brokers. For an incredible affordable quote, call 031 012 5223 or visit the website here at www.intaba-insurance.co.za. At Intaba, we understand that every cent is worth saving. Intaba is a licensed financial service provider with FSP number L47111. Get a code now to see how much you can save. Ladies and gentlemen, is the political corner.
And we are in just like that. Good morning to you and a warm welcome to the Morning Movement Show. #welcome to the future. I'm talking about the big deal. If it's your first time tuning in to Voice of the Move Radio, good morning and a warm welcome. All right, still more to come on the show. Just hang in there. Fasten your seatbelts because I'm about to take you on a ride of your lifetime. What is so special and different about today? That #the Converse Hour. And of course, we're going to go straight to #the Imboni Hour. I did promise you that there's so much to give out. The only thing that you have to do is just hang in there and don't go anywhere.
Morning Movement. We the best.
Mlaleli, welcome back. Phumla Nshinga noSibusiso kwaSangweni. Sibusiso balokhu beze ngikubiza awuzikhulumela.
Sanibonani, ngibingelela emakhaya, ngibingelela wonke umuntu odrivayo osilalele osemsebenzini. There are people working today. Sithi nje good afternoon, sesifikile. Ushinga ke uthi siyama problem children or problem kids of politics. But welcome to the show, the Political Corner on VM Radio. Kumhla ka10 November ku2024, isikhathi sakho ku6:05. Uhleli nathi ke namhlanje on another cold weather. Sine bad. Let's declare doom.
Same thing.
This week liyabanda. But we really hope that everyone is safe at home and akekho umuntu ohlele endaweni ebucayi, akekho umuntu ohlukumezekayo, and at the same time wonke umuntu uphathene kahle, sihloniphene, and we go out in positive ways to build in South Africa, because last corner we are at the first phase of building the state, and state ngicabanga ukuthi Mr. Shinga sageja kakhulu kulento yaga psycho social psychology.
Okay.
Ayizanga sakhiwe lapho.
Amagama amakhulu.
Amagama amakhulu kakhulu. Social psycho. Ngicabanga sageja lapho ku-RDP. That is why sisana lento esinayo today yokuthi ogogo bethu they still backwards ukuthi amandiya abawafuni, abelungu ababafuni, while ama-2000 embrace these nations. Bonke labantu who were not part of the liberal times embrace the nations that the people of the liberal times don't like. So where I'm headed ukuthi, in my opening statement in Jengiti, we have a good state to build, and part of building it is collapsing all racial and tribal barriers. Thank you.
Hayi ngwane uyajula namhlanje ngizala ngama amakhulu but vele ngaba nengwiqi same time. Masupa siqala ngesegment ethu yokuqala, sisha ama headlines adla uhlonzo namhlanje. Hey, South Africa don't blink. Ngathi imishe boxing. You blink, you get knocked out.
Hey, don't blink.
So, yokuqala uthi Floyd, it's an honor Floyd Shibambu humbled by Jacob Zuma's confidence in appointing him MK Party Secretary General. Ngwane, I don't think we saw this coming.
I did.
You did.
I did.
So, Ngwane, kurizana Dr. Maseko. Talk to us. How did you see it coming?
No, you remember, Kona Ish, I think a show before last one, sasikhulumile now, indaba yokuthi, I commented on that show that Floyd will not end at the national organizer's position due to his experience in building a party from scratch.
Yeah.
And what is the duty of the SG?
Well, constitution MKSG is like a CEO. It is CEO responsible for monitoring and evaluation.
For almost everything.
Yeah.
That's what I stated. Floyd will not be national organizer. That was my statement in Clearly. He will not end on that position because in every person that has come to MK, Floyd is the highest ranking Gogogo politics. Ngoba uyena deputy president of another political party. He has the expertise. He has the experience of running a deputy president.
Had Unobhala MK not resigned because he's going back to government, how would have Floyd gotten the role of being an SG?
The old-fashioned way. MK you just go.
MK is on his fourth SG. Kwaqala uGobashev kwezuzwane
kwezuzwane futhi kwasekuzungubane
basungubane bathi yadazana ngoba no resign hey come back. anyway yeah, that's our first headline. Interesting into Floyd. I listened to him being interviewed. I think it was SABC or this Africa channel. I thought he has a very sober head. That gentleman Floyd is a very sober head. Another interesting one I read. We're not going to do lots today because there's a lot to cover.
Yeah.
There are bigger stories, big stories. ANC comrades plotted my prosecution, says Zizi Kodwa. We know Zizi Kodwa was charged with 1.6 million, if I'm not mistaken. And this other gentleman I charged when and he had to vacate his roles with ANC due to their step-aside policy. They hail him for not to do this. He voluntarily stepped aside from being minister as well as from parliament.
I believe this is just a show. It's a show setting up examples. They are leaders. There are young people who are coming to government. It's not always going to be always easy. Someone must set an example. If the Constitution says step aside, you step aside. And mind you, Zizi is going to be that person. Example too.
And he had big roles, minister as well.
You understand? So
and without hesitation, he stepped aside.
Yeah, he was setting
really
an example.
Yeah, you're right.
He was setting people are being schooled which ANC is needed moving forward. Because the ANC is no longer a liberation movement. It's a governing party. You understand? As it is a liberation movement, the liberation on the ground is not happening. So that's why I'm saying it's no longer a liberation movement, because I don't see anyone being liberated by the ANC on the ground. People are living their lives. Young people are on drugs. They're giving birth at an early age. Old people are being disregarded of their contributions of the past. History is never considered a priority, even in education. So we have a lot of problems that shouldn't be problems. You understand?
Yeah,
Tools are being cast out to the sea, and tools that will help us grow a good and warm and welcoming state for all. Those tools have been thrown away. So we don't see that liberation movement anymore, because once you be some chairperson of some branch youth league or whatever league, youth-based league, where we see you now riding in Golfs and Toyota Taz and, you're trying to... The problem is that people are not evolving due to the fact that they live leaders' lives at the bottom.
Yeah.
Uthi umuntu chairperson we youth league afune ukuphilisa okaSiril Ramaphosa simhlonipheke manje njengorama. That's not happening if you are not strategic on growing the youth league.
True.
If you are not strategic on looking into youth economic issues within the sector where you work or within the branch where you work or serve. In any youth league-based political party, any group, we don't see those things where a youth league member says, or a youth league chairperson says, we are against drugs. Simple.
Yeah.
A problem facing
And
the people they lead.
overuse of alcohol by young people.
You understand?
Yeah.
We don't see those things. We don't see, I have a problem with young people and not stating anything about drugs. It is the biggest war we have today.
Yeah, I think something that we sort of don't condemn. Our society, especially alcohol, because it's easily accessible. It is arranged in terms of pricing. It's a very destructive thing to young people.
It is.
It's very destructive. But sorry for that.
No, we need the liberation movement back on every black political party. We need the Steve Bigos, Bagithi, angithi manje basabulawa. Where did the black consciousness movement go? Oh, wow.
Go to the next one. Maybe this is going to be the last one. Ndlozi pledges loyalty to EFF, the People's Party, as his future comes under spotlight. EFF MP Mbuyiseni Ndlozi has reassured party members of his loyalty to the Red Berets amid leadership shake-ups.
You know what he wants? You know what he wants. He never went to study and be called a doctor. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi at a young age for nothing.
Nothing.
He didn't. He didn't do that. He studied to climb the ranks of politics. He studied to reach the presidential office. It's either deputy president of the state when he's 50, 60 something, or the president of the state in those years. So Ndlozi here sees the gap. That's what most people saw when people left for the MK in the ANC. They saw gaps. Ukuthi awulahambi iphikoko. Sangena thina.
Yeah.
You understand? So nalana Ndlozi is part of a political party. Yabo? In gale kwama political banners. Ukuthi I carry the red banner, I carry the green, gold and black banner. Gale kwama banners. The format is the same. You need strategy to survive in the political game.
Mlayeli isikhathi njengamanje ishumi nesihlanu imzuzu emva kwehora lesithupha umhla ka-10 kuLwezi 2024 uhleli uphumela kwaShinga noSibusiso wakwaSangweni political corner njalo ngo-6 kuya ku-7 ngamasonto. Welcome Voice of the Move. Yasithola njalo kuma social media Voice of the Move.
Win 5 gigabytes of data with Voice on the Move Radio.
Yeah, share your story on why you want to stay connected with VM Radio.
Follow us to increase your chances of winning.
Voice on the Move Radio. Hashtag welcome to the future. Izindaba ze-Voice on the Move Radio zifika kuwena zishisa futhi zihlonzwe izintatheli ezisezingeni eliphezulu. Uma unodaba ofisa sibale noma sikhulume ngalo, ungathinta ihhovisi lezintatheli ku-074 517 4983 noma uthumele i-email ku hello@vmradio.co.za okanye ubhale ezinkundleni zokuxhumana. Voice on the Move Radio News. Our voice is your voice.
The Voice on the Move Radio.
Welcome back mlaleli, usahleli nawo la ma-terrible 2 kupolitiki uSibusiso wakwaSangweni noPhumela kwaShinga. Sithi welcome, sajabula kakhulu kuba nawe. Tshela abangani bakho ukuthi sisukile. Political corner is in the building. FokaSangweni.
Yeah.
Sethembiso la masiqala ukuthi sithitha njalo umthethosisekelo we-country so that abantu ba-South Africa nabaseKwaZulu Natal ba-understande amalungelo, ba-understande umthethosisekelo amalungelo abo. Uzananda namhlanje ngone.
namhlanje siku-Bill of Rights today.
Sisaqhubeka khona.
Yebo. I-Bill of Rights, bantu bakithi, it's very important for us to look at because the rights belong to us. That's number one. And the rights are highly misunderstood. That's number two. The rights are highly misused by those abaziyo ukuthi wena wazi lamalungelo. And iwona lama rights okwazi ukuthi ubambe ngawo umthetho, iwona lama rights okwazi ukuthi ucontrol ngawo umakhelwane, ukwazi ukuthi umaneuver through life in South Africa. Uma nawe ungabahlukumezi abanye abantu noma ungawanyatheli amalungelo abo. So today sihleli ku section 26 which is housing, amalungelo aka housing for South Africa yonke, hayi ukuthi mhlambe ngakini kuphela. Yabo khona abantu abacabanga ukuthi izinto zenzeka kakubo mhlambe. Yabo laba ngebona bala ayenzeki lento kwenye indawo yenzeka la South Africa kuphela.
Yes.
The constitution of the state applies only in the state. Yase South Africa with 9 provinces. Nama languages amanga manje 12 13
12 manje.
12.
Yeah.
Aya ku 15 manje.
Ngimangala.
Sekukhona konke manje khona lokho kunye kwamaHindu, amaKhoi namaSen. Nathi ke enye into engicasulayo ke before singene nje kule yaka housing. Yabona lento ukuthi when you go to our coat of arms, nginayo la ilokhunjana yami la. I-wallpaper. Nansi la, yebo? That's the coat of arms. Anyone at home who sees there is the coat of arms of SA. Ma ungenayo eduzane thatha imali 5 rand 2 rand khona ngemuva uzoyithola.
Masupa.
Now the coat of arms la inamaKhoi namaSen
Right.
as the center that says the state has people.
Yeah.
The people who represent us in our pockets everywhere in the world. If anything happens to you anywhere emhlabeni uzokhonjiswa ama-coat of arms bese ukhonjiswa iflag bese kuthiwa kucula i-national anthem noma ungayihama.
Yeah.
Just to show ukuthi wakhona, write a few lines of your national anthem to make sure uyabo mawuthiwa kuma states angenazo lezi zinto eze technology zokuscanna nani you are made to do that by the military to check ukuthi wakhona na by the embassies. You identify that this is the South African lokunjani coat of arms. So in the coat of arms we have abantu abawu2 ababambene laphayana. Those are the Khoi and the Sen. And the Khoi and the Sen put up front ibona aba represent thina as ukuthi i-country thina abantu abana official language as in first language Khoi, Sen, and then move on. Zulu, whatever that comes after. You understand? But how can the people who represent us entweni represent umhlaba wonke not recognized ka language? You understand? Why don't we know the Khoi and Sen language as a language of the people of the first men in the land? Which means they were not the first men in the land. It means that the history writer met them first. If the history writer came here eThekwini and met the Zulus, he would have said, I got figure South Africa and Zulus were the inhabitants of the state. So now we should look at this thing.
No. So ibhanga ilanga ngwane.
Soyibuka ngempela.
Soyibuka.
Siyakuyona?
Yeah.
Ngikona ngoba ngikhona la ngikuthinte khona. Yabona uma usho njalo usuke selikuvule kwenye indawo. Let's get into housing.
It's very interesting one. You are. We'll get that.
One way to uthi everyone has the right to have access to adequate housing. Okuchaza ukuthi wonke umuntu unelungelo lokuba nomuzi omnikeza inhlonipho nestima necomfort yokuthi cha la ngikhona ngingakwazi ukuphila ngiqhubeka ukusuka la ngiye phambili. Ilungelo lomuntu. Everyone has that right in South Africa to have access to adequate housing. Okuchaza ukuthi mawuzalo eSouth Africa you already have the right to a house.
Okay.
Okuchaza ukuthi people ababhizi bakhala nemjondolo abafundi i-constitution yabo and abanandaba nama-departments abo because khona human settlements. If you go to human settlements you won't find a huge backlog as the shacks that you see outside because people have their laptops, they have the Babuga O House Dragon. They have their phones via WhatsApp, about Facebook and a TikTok. But ukuthatha nje less than 30 cents ungene ka human settlements and register for a house is hard for them. They would rather go out, bend tires, be hit by police and inhale tear gas. yabo.
True.
But now see now iwona thuba bathi yini labantu laba ababhizi ngento esingazi babhizi ngayo bathi yini laba uplug now plug.
Oh, plug, yeah.
Now plug uthi ngene ka human settlements mi website yakhona international website mufika khona noma ungathi human settlements KZN ungene kuyona ufike khona uye ku FAQ ungene khona uma ufika ku FAQ lapha phezulu uzofica imibuzo edinga impendulo ikhona imibuzo zikhona impendulo uzothola la kubhalekiswa kubuzwa khona ngeRDP uzofunda la ukungena khona RDP and then this right everyone has the right to have access to adequate housing in South Africa will be served to you.
So ngani uphethe umkhabulo lana uphethe ngekhanda lana access to these things.
Yes, I'm a community developer.
We ghost. We ghost. Ngwane ngithi mina there's a problem we have in South Africa whereby abantu come from another province. Let's say Eastern Cape, which is our neighboring province, and similar language among Gunamany. They'll come here whether for work or for one reason or another. Let's say for work, but not maybe professional work. Mhlawumbe umuntu uzosebenza as a domestic worker or children worker somewhere, getting a very basic wage. And then for emakhaya, they have a house, even maybe umkhaso. Fika eThekwini, faka umjondolo. Now, lo mthetho, because there's a right and then there's a responsibility. And umuntu is only allowed to have one housing provision from government.
Yeah.
Now, how ukhuluma into yamjondolo and wayibeka ezobantu because laba abanye abawazi amalungelo abo, which is true, but abanye bewazi but they don't qualify and baxubeka emjondolo. How does government deal with this thing?
Lento lele ku local government. Lento. Yabo le emjondolo ilele sonke ku local government administration. How? Amakhansela amaningi don't do walkabouts kuma ward abo. Uzobona kanjani kunemjondolo ekhulayo ungahambi nje ngeenyawo.
Yes.
You understand? Of which is something you should do. Uma uyi-council, you're not the president, bakithi. You are that person who should go around and see ukuthi isitamkoko siqhumile. You are that person every single damn day.
That's your primary job.
Yes. La uhamba khona, you stop, you take a picture, you report immediately. La kula khona imjondolo, you immediately contact abantu baka human settlements. Unayo umuntu oku-ward committee omele human settlements. You immediately contact that person. Lo muntu mvulisa lento. Ama ward committee members should have sub-forums because they have sections. You understand?
Yeah, because these things also talk to access to land. Because in Jordan, sometimes abantu bakithi in places that are not good for human habitation. Hence, magnama flats we get these disasters.
Siyamazi umuntu washo leyo nto. Uyamazi nawe futhi umncane kodwa kulungile. Siyamazi umuntu washo leyo nto leyo. And when people died, I think it was 2017. 2017
no,
or 2022.
but he's not an authority of that opinion. This is a well-researched thing I'm talking about. I'm not quoting any politician here. I'm talking about statistics, real academic work. Yeah, I know the advocate or the loudest mouth. I don't even think he's an advocate for that. He's just a loud mouth for it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've seen. I stay in the north part of Durban. And kunema settlements, I think our two in my proximity. One Effingham, Kenville, and one just across Macro.
Hey, Springfield.
Now, the udlula nje uyabona ukuthi this is ungodly. The conditions abantu abakithi abahlala kuwona.
Now, nansi into efanele uyazi about Springfield. Tina Kadabeka, Nase Clement, we have Shembe, we have
Shembe indawo ukuhlala.
Kwashembe, we Kwashembe.
Okay, khona phela nasenanda.
One day we will discuss why we Kwashembe, but Kwashembe.
Kusho ngathi uzothi one day so yakhona, I'll let you go. Send me pictures.
You know, Kunjana, it's a settlement what was found there, we've always mina ngikhula-ke ngikhule in the community development sphere. I'm a child nje ekhule kanjalo. I was always worried ukuthi man emjondolo engapheli kube kwakhiwa imixhaso, but you know lapha na ko Springfield na yonke leyo yamfucuza, you know what you find. You find that kwenzeka kanjena kulabo bantu bayasebenza. Wokudlule lapha ngoDecember. Udlule nje ngoDecember. Like a hostel le ndawo. Indawo eqashisayo.
Okay.
Yeah, hello. Hello December. Indawo eqashisayo. Bayaqashisa abantu lapha ingakho it's private property. Kahle kahle. And then the private property get leased to somebody ozokwenza profit, and then the landlord will make profit. Kahle kahle it's land abandoned. Njengama abandoned buildings ukuthi lapha they are self-constructed. Uyayizwa lento le. Bese mabe bathola nje ukuthi hayi ibelonga kubani bazolifuna balithola lokhetla lebhunu bese lithi hayi I agree akhani mina will keep the legals away ukuthi it's my land, I can do whatever I please mangaphumelanga ngaphandle when you make me the money bese ngena le yamjondolo kanjani. Because in Springfield I don't think there's a black person who owns land lapayana of that mess except for a white person and an Indian.
Unless Usemaka, black people don't own land in the city.
Yeah, bro.
Not a single black person owns land.
It's either a white person or an Indian person or own a land down. Kodwa iyaqashisa. Fanele uhlale ukwazi imjondolo engapheli ohlezi ukade uyibona around the table. Iyaqashisa. Except for namalindela ama transit camps. ama transit camps, there are people who rent those places, and lento ikhombisa ukuthi how much does administration lack when it comes to the issue and respecting the rights of housing to our people, because it relies on local government. People on the ground are guarded by local government.
Yeah.
You understand?
Sure.
So if people are guarded by local government, baphi abantu who go around and see ukuthi the person osahlala ku transit camp is a deserving person who awaits RTP. Because the part ethi adequate housing iyacisha mawufika kuma transit camps. Yabona nje ethi access to adequate housing iyacisha mawufika kuma transit camps. So kuningi abantu abathi kumele kwenzeke, yebo kuningi abantu abathi akwenzeke, yebo kuningi, but umuphu action ungakanani futhi action othathwa abantu on the ground to hold their local government administrations accountable.
I digress to one. Cover I think the last point or last 2 points on housing. Let's catch manje 29 minutes after 6.
Okay, sihlala kuyona ke manje singena kuphi point 2.
Yeah.
The state must take reasonable legislative and other measures. The state must. You must. Ngifuna abantu bangayikhohlwa lento. If umuntu ehlele ekhaya efunda iconstitution yakhe, underline must. Underline how.
Must way.
Yes, the state must take reasonable legislative and other measures within its available resources to achieve the progressive realization of this right, of which is point 1.
Sure.
So the state must make sure that abantu baya providwa ngemizi ebanikeza inhlonipho. Now, mina ngokwami Sibusiso, the state has done that, has given provisions.
Yeah.
Each year, state is keeping imali. They allocate our national treasury, we allocate to provincial treasury, we allocate to municipal treasury, right? Kuma metros. Ukon housing ku metro yaga eseThekwini, right? Une department yaga housing, ngiyazi ukhona housing, phezi iphuza imoto okunaka. Yes, ukona housing.
Yeah.
There's allocation of funds from the national to the province to the metros yaga housing. Okuchaza ukuthi you can apply from your like you get on the internet. The state made provisions ngama office.
How do you ngena ku laptop ngena phone in?
Phone in human settlements.
FAQs.
We have Google. Simple. We have Google uthi KZN human settlements. Bese uthi /FAQ. Uzokufaka direct la ngisho khona. uzoyithola indlela yokuthi umuzi uthola kanjani. Less than R1 ukuba nomuzi South Africa and people don't care. Badlintash asidlule lapha. No one may be evicted from their home or have their home demolished without an order of court made after considering all the relevant circumstances. Made after considering all. You understand?
Yeah, I'm reading. Yeah.
This is the law.
Yeah, I'm reading that.
And you must be very careful when you read the law. This is not read aloud. This is not a read aloud. This is your life. It depends on these lines of words. And you must be very careful when you analyze these things. Yeah, all circumstances must be considered before you take someone out of a shelter.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm not talking about a house here. Anywhere a person shelters, you don't just barge in because you're full of anger. That's illegal in South Africa. You don't just take a person, evict a person without a second option while you have an option at the same time. So if wena ufuna uthi wena uzoqashisa ngendawo unomuzi kodwa uhlala kuona le ndawo ohlala kuyona usuyidayisile iyathengwa mina usuyithengile sidayisiwe kuwena wayithenga waqeda just because a person hasn't found ground elsewhere wena usuthi it's my house, it's this and that, without considering this. Because when that person takes you to court, bazothi, have you exhausted all relevant circumstances with regards to someone's shelter?
The last portion, I have a question for you.
No legislation may permit arbitrary evictions.
Okay. This is a very controversial line, the last one. It's a very controversial line that doesn't favor the person who right. It favors the one who wrong.
Somehow.
Yeah. Not somehow, it does. Not that they shouldn't be protected, but I'm saying it favors them. And whenever the law is on your side, you feel favored. Now, if it's in a contract now, and you're supposed to rent monthly a certain amount, and I'm paying bond to this house slump, or loan or whatever, to this house or rentayo, and then you don't meet your end of the bargain, your commitment of paying the loan, the lease, or whatever, the rent. So the contract says after 3 months, or 2 months, or within 7 days.
Doesn't favor anyone, Lento. It doesn't favor anyone. Where don't guys go to your personal leonking or yaga housing tribunal, la Peteguini, human settlements. Eteguini human settlements. You go there, we yaga housing tribunal, they will solve that issue for you. If the person cannot cover, they will make means. They will research the person what is the problem ngokuthi akave i-rent yakhe, and then they might cover i-rent and your problem is solved. You go to the housing tribunal. Bakhona abantu. No, go to your war rooms, attend your war rooms bakithi, and know
what is a war room?
A war room, it's Operation Sukumasake. We'll host someone from there one day to explain what is Operation Sukumasake. Operation Sukumasake wakiwa Maritzburg kahle kahle ilento ekuthiwa i-DDM manje yenziwa upresident district development model, yes. Usuke zocheck, it's basically a war room, but the president's version.
Okay.
A war room is where you gather everyone from indawo le ohlala kuyona, like ward,
yeah,
for instance. You gather your NPOs, you gather your churches,
all stakeholders, basically. You
gather everyone there, and then you solve problems. It's very easy. If say kufika shame ngiyakudabukela mina wadenyami mina usecretary wayo, but
no I need this war room, man.
Yes,
I need to go to war.
Yes, you target those things, and it becomes easier because I'm a stakeholders asuke khona. If someone says esikoleni, for instance, we have the issue of drugs, umane ukhombe uthi hayi nansi NPO edila with drugs right on the table, so khona usihlalo noma secretary wayo, and then athathe those issues bese eyasho ku war room ukuthi this is what I will probably come back with. when we meet. Mese buya uzodeliver i-report asho ukuthi u1 no2 no3 no4 wenzekile abantu bashodana. And then if unenkinga emasontweni we have umfundisi in the war room. If unenkinga no council uyena uchampion we war room. Everyone meets there and it's the central area where problems get dealt with. Kanje. Ama officials from different departments come there or send abantwana laba abenza ithiwa yini lento le in service training.
Yes. I did that.
Yes, they come, they sit there, they take reports, bathumele ama departments ahlukahlukene as you requested ngokuba mema. They do come. Even provincial departments, they come. They sit there, they listen to you, they come back, they do assessment, and they hold ukansela wakho accountable for that. So housing tribunal ngahlangana nawo lapho it's either umqashi uqashile uhlushwa uyithiwa yini umqashi nomqasho
so stupid.
Asithi landlord ubantu
Usdum.
thiwa yini landlord ngesizulu
Uma stand.
Awuzwe. Uma stand. Asithi uma stand naye uyena ko wrong kule game. Uma stand unezikweletu yena ngoba sekushaya isikhathi sakhe sokuthi akhokhe izikweletu zakhe uzofuna imali yakhe isikhathi singakashaya. You understand?
Yeah.
Bakhona abantu abanjalo abaxinwa inkinga zezwe. Yabo bese beya kubantu bethu beyofuna izinto engafanele bayifune. Housing tribunal uyangena lapho. Yabo if unabantu abagcwele ilokhu njalo abagcwele istand sakho housing tribunal uyangena lapho. So we do have solutions for every problem in South Africa. It's just that our people do not know.
Ngwane usilekelela kakhulu njengamanje. Isikhathi njengamanje mlaleli u6:38. Mfishane mzulu before kuhleka ihora lesikhombisa uhleli uphumela kwashinga noSibusiso kwaSangweni kwipolitical corner with Voice on the Move.
And we are in just like that. Good morning to you and a warm welcome to the Morning Movement Show. #welcome to the future. I'm talking about the big deal. If it's your first time tuning in to Voice on the Move Radio, good morning and a warm welcome. All right, still more to come on the show. Just hang in there. Fasten your seatbelts because I'm about to take you on a ride of your lifetime. What is so special and different about today? That #the Converse Hour. And of course, we're going to go straight to #the Imboni Hour. I did promise you that there's so much to give out. The only thing that you have to do is just hang in there and don't go anywhere.
Morning Movement. Sweet the best.
Welcome back emlaleli isikhathi njengamanje u6:39 basically u6:40 20 minutes before the top of the hour. Hlena leyo thuleyo ke uphumlana kwashinga kanye noSibusiso wakwaSangweni silethele ipolitiki ngolimi lwakho.
Abantu abathi ngingulube ehlathi. Yazi the way ingulube ehlathi trenda ngakhona. Ngithi abantu abayide ayabagubethu aqaba kahle. Ukuyibona itrenda kanjani?
Ngibone kakhulu tweet.
Ingulube ehlathi inkinga.
Uqeda ukutalapha kakhulu njengamanje ongwane ngo-housing. Utalapha bathi utalapha baphethwe. Utalapha ama-stand utalapha umqasho isiqasho. Lemnyama hey izinto ziningi. Ngesonto ledlule sathola exclusive ku-SABC namhlanje ibikhona enye exclusive yokuthi ubaba uDalimpofu has not renewed. He didn't resign from the EFF. He did not renew his membership. And then subsequently he joined EMK party. Now some people are shocked. Some abanye, but no, this is not shocking. It's been a long time coming. And if you listen to Mpofu, realize that this was an inevitable progression on his side. He speaks Futi. Mpofu was instrumental in the formation and conceptualization of the MK party with President Jacob Zuma. He mentions Uguti at some point there was only two of them, Mr. Zuma and no advocate, senior advocate Mpofu, who knew about MK. I mean, someone came through to dispute that, who was working underground, Nobabu Zuma. However, I'm seeing not just people resigning EFF, but I'm seeing ama-defectors, especially what uhlala kwi-states esine-tyranny, njenge-North Korea, where tyrant is in charge and people will defect to different states or different countries. We've seen people defecting from those states. Some people defect from Russia as well. They know it's not just a migration, because Uzuma takes these dissenters, these defectors, personal. He takes these moves personal. And Lipofu is the last one. But I think Imshaya Umalema to a point where he had to do a podcast. There's been a 10-minute clip, just over 10 minutes clip, where he explains or he responds to a resignation about Bumpof. Umalema, he's taking this resignation as a fight against him. You see, when he makes him a post, he talks about we're not going anywhere. We're still standing. We will remain loyal.
My question is, will he stay and hold on much longer? Because the party is not a tug shop. I stated this. I said this. I said this. But I was shocked by Mpofu's resignation.
You were one of the shocked ones.
I was.
Okay.
I was. Having a party's pillars gone.
The founders.
2, the party's pillars to complete the triangle of perfecting their strategy. This tells us that, and also shows us that the EFF is actually just like the MK, I think. It's a party built based on conflict with the ANC and not the people. These parties are built in conflict with the ANC.
Okay.
Same as party ababumusiwa likota.
Actually,
Uyabona ke nawe uyayikhohlwa le party. Suzu uyayikhohlwa. Cope. Abantu abaningi cope abayikhumbuli.
Actually, I'll put it to you and say all black parties, formations from PAC, which was the first defector. PAC was the first one to break away from ANC. Again, Nayo was built on a fraction with the ANC.
Where
on the
is
issue
the
of land.
PAC today? In the GNU, holding the issues of land. Izwe lethu, i-Africa. I-Africa, izwe lethu. That's what they do. Working with the ANC again. Now, my question is, let me start by a statement. The statement says, when you serve a country, you serve its people. Are these political parties, PAC broke away, at that point, the time of fighting, they disagreed on something they never knew when they will achieve. But today, we know what we want to do. We are not chained by anyone.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Then why do you decide to create a party that is in conflict? Its basis is in conflict. It's just conflict with another party.
Kota, I don't think it's unprincipled what MK has started.
No, I'm not saying they're unprincipled. I'm saying
I'm making a point here.
what I'm learning from the EFF is that their base was not of the people, but their base was in spite of Jacob Zuma's rulership. That's what I'm saying. And history has that. It's not me. When Julius Malema started serving in the EFF, it was all about Zuma and Nkandla and pay back the money.
Yeah.
You understand?
Babaka Tutuzan.
Yeah. And when Zuma left, you understand?
True.
You understand? Now, that's what I'm trying to show you. When you start a party with its pillars based on hatred for somebody and not the people, you can shout your policies all you want.
I just want to check something. Are you does this refer to MK or EFF?
It refers to the EFF mostly, because it was the first young democratic party that rebelled strongly against the ruling president. A young Democratic Party that rebelled strongly.
I don't know about the Democratic Party, but young, yeah.
No. Phela basho njalo. It's in a democratic state, a democratic system. They are democratic. They say they are.
Yeah, PA says they're not.
No, it's fine.
They clearly outlined. Hey, I was shocked. Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to say, first party for me that was based on hatred of Zuma was COPE. When Umpegi lost, they had a disdain for Zuma.
No, Gaiboni party in general, but a young party. Leaders that will last for the next
No, by young
15
party,
years.
you mean young people.
Young people.
Oh, because a young party, MK is a young party.
Yes.
But it's old people.
Yeah, a young party is in young people, young blood, young-blooded party.
I get you.
You understand? They were very young. There was a lot of analysis to do. There was a lot of learning to do, of which they did. But they did not learn for us. They learned to spite the ANC because of Jacob Zuma. That's what they did.
But they don't have Zuma
Wahamba uZuma.
issues.
Yes, kwaphela ama-issues. Kwaphela imkhonto. Kwaphela ama-arrows. Kwaphela yonke into. They couldn't do anything.
But
They-
hamstrung, manje, yeah.
What a Hambu Zuma, Malema had to go back to school because people who were left with him said, hey, Baba. You understand? And he went back, studied, came back, and he talked a different language.
He toned down.
Yes, he toned down.
He toned down.
You understand?
Education will
So-
make you, it'll take a revolutionary out of you.
My issue here is that we've got people who are rebellious in developing a state. We don't need robust and rebellious politics. We're a peaceful state. We are not at war. Nobody's fighting anyone.
Yeah.
Why our leaders show
Militants.
or display militancy?
Yeah.
Why are they robust?
And into umfana wenza leyo nto lo, I think he's been clipped his wings now. Lo MK waga national organize na youth.
Kanyile.
He has
Disaster.
he has had some pseudo militants ongayazi engena sense.
You understand? You can't threaten a state who number bani.
But I
Because
think
the
his wings have been clipped.
Yeah, they have.
And they change the constitution. I don't know if it's constitution, much to constitution, but youth, but I think it ends at 30. AMK, age limit. So he's out automatically.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I say immediate goodbye with immediate effect. Now I want us to go to the last segment, Engwane. The proof is in the pudding. We don't know ukuthi umpofu displayed to kuzona kakhulu ngamalala representing my cases akhe, winning some, losing a lot.
I have another thing to say.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just finish this chain of thoughts. Yeah. And for me, because you were saying you were shocked. For me, I saw a progression in his closeness with Nxamalala. Whereas now, he's getting closer not just to Nxamalala as a person, but Nxamalala now as a member of MK. Now he's there now. I'm thinking, this is very odd.
Yeah.
Because even though he's not a leader, he's a senior elder with EFF. He's a founding member. But the way he's so immersed with MK, he now defends MK basically at all. It's uncalled for. It's unknown. It's not known. Yeah. Anyway, you let's say this.
It's a warning to MK party members. I had a lot of time studying history. I loved history. One time lo nkuluma ngaye uThembisile Gumede. Wife fundisa history at high school.
Yeah.
I used to go there, and they used to make fun of auntie nokufundisa history, especially laba befundisa maths, no physics. They saw this thing as useless. But today, I'm sitting here because I read the books that auntie used to leave. My maga used to analyze. I used to read those books of history. And infiltration sends no note.
Do you think? Do you suspect?
What I'm saying is that people shouldn't be too comfortable. You can't have two major lawmakers of a party that you hit as part of your team, of which in that team, about 3 abantu who will be high lawmakers now in the EFF that I know. Umama Mkhwebane, uJudge Hlophe, uAdvocate, uDali Mpofu. Who beats who? who's from where. And now we've got 3 members from the EFF who were highly prominent, who can continue to sit and discuss the collapse of the MK in the next 5, 6, 12, 15 years. And if they become successful, and while I'm still alive and sitting on this seat, I'll replay this statement.
I don't think.
What I'm saying is, people shouldn't get too comfortable. Ngeke uze ube nama 2 major lawmakers of the country living a country, living a party they created just like that. Never.
But Mkhwebane was not a member of EFF.
No, I'm saying 2.
Mkhwebane.
Yes, 1. No, both.
Yeah.
Those are major lawmakers in South Africa. Major lawmakers. Lawmakers. They made the law of the MK, of the EFF. They're going to tweak the laws now of what? The MK. Now, if that happens, what I'm saying is that infiltration never sends a note. Beware of a siege.
Ngiyamthanda Mkhwebane kodwa emekhuluma angithembisi.
Ngisathi mina ke, beware of a siege.
Anyway.
Prepare the comrades properly. Teach people. Izinto efanele zenzeke on the ground. Treat people by the work that you've done.
Hlongwane, ngifuna simuve kuthula segment. Hey, isikhathi vele sibaleke kakhulu.
Donald Trump.
It's what time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, we're having fun. We're having a lot of fun.
Last week I mentioned ukuthi almost over 60% of the world is going on to election. And last week America was one of those. The leading country in the world.
This week, a few days ago.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, Tuesday. Tuesday, the Americans were going on election. And lo and behold, the one,
Russia.
Donald John Trump, emerges. It's one of the biggest comeback in modern history. Now, I don't know what will be your thoughts. I looked at the American election. American elections are probably the most expensive elections in the world.
Most complicated as well.
You could say that. And they take long. Each party goes through what is called a primary. The primary is where they elect a nominee, the one who's going to stand for president for each party, whether it's the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. So that there's more money is spent. There's nothing less than $1 billion of dollars, not just rands. And then you get to the elections. Again, more money is spent there, a lot of fundraising, crisscrossing the country to garner support from the people. And this is my take. The Democrats did themselves a disservice. Firstly, they co-opted Kamala Harris to be the nominee for the Democratic Party. She didn't go through the process of primaries and have debates to hone her, to mold her policies, such that she didn't have any policy of her own. Because when she ran against Joe Biden in 2020 through the primaries, she failed. The electorate rejected her. Now she's being co-opted and she flopped. This election was not even close. Yet I'm appalled. They were saying this, yeah. You would,
hey, kwakuthiwa nje umshiya ngo-2%.
You would swear she was winning this thing. Donald Trump was clearly. Donald Trump was always had this in the bag. Now, what is your reflection on this? And secondly, what do you think this means for Africa with Donald Trump and his utterances?
No, for the fact ukuthi uPutin umncomile. Hayi kusho ukuthi Africa is right. Umzulu Vladimir utheni?
Uthini?
I was shocked. Politics will shock you, man. Vladimir uthi he's grateful Trump is back in office and he praises him for ukubuya after his life was threatened, and he looks forward to working with Trump's administration. Do you know what does that statement mean? Mm-hmm. It means that Donald Trump is being challenged by Russia to say, lay down your policies and we might work with you.
Okay.
Angithi yakhumbula ukuthi before singene kuma elections isikhathi sethu manje kusele 4 minutes to 7, singene kuma-election bangene kuma-elections laphayana a few days before Musk was in a phone call with Putin.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
And Musk is the biggest funder of Trump's campaign.
Yeah.
And then why would Putin say, hey, congratulations, we would like to work with you if there are no links here?
No, we know there are links. Even the first time Trump won, it was said that Russia meddled in the American elections in the similar way that MK is claiming that during the offline IEC, they were meddling with the results. So, America, or rather Democrats or detractors got Trump, they were saying that Russia was meddling on the results, but then it was proven otherwise. So I know they don't have a bad relationship with Trump, no Putin. Yeah.
You know why? Putin, Trump is the first president ever who went into office, came out of office without war.
Good, true. Now, what does this mean for Africa?
For Africa,
consider Trump, he's a very transactional leader. Tit for tat. You scratch your back, I scratch mine.
That's what's good with him. He's out there. We are chill.
So what do you think this means for Africa?
It means balanced relations. People need to find balance. Yes, Trump is a person or good with indaba zama economic relations and whatnot and grow, but he's very good in protecting America's interests.
Yeah.
You understand? So with Trump in the next 4 years, Africa's interests are not at the front seat.
Table.
That's what people should consider. About Museveni doesn't care about America, but our leaders, broadly, should think about that. We'll go to the next 4 years.
Museveni will be in favor, not Trump. Because Museveni,
he would be. He is very much in favor. LGBTQ+.
Trump will love Museveni. And Republican presidents have actually supported the president from Bush, senior and the older Bush. They've been supportive of Museveni. That's why he's still in power. Otherwise, he would not be in power.
Resources. Aye.
Yeah. So he wouldn't be in power, Museveni, had the Republicans disliked him. Anyway, we draw to a close. It's 1 minute before the top of the hour.
Hey, 1 minute to our divorce.
Naleli, it's been good, it's been nice, it's been hip, it's been happening. This brings us to the close of our show. And I'm telling you, I'm 10. Until we meet again next week, we chop it up on class 17.
Before Sambe, I would like to take them back to I always take people into history. I really wish that before we engage on so many issues and things that abantu bethu bangene kuzona with regards to government. Government it's here, they must understand that first. The country is ours, that is second. Umuntu ngabantu kusho isiZulu. Fourthly, kunensizwa engangisebenza nayo laphayana eyathi kumina uma uNkulunkulu enze umuntu ngomfanekiso wakhe wena ungamazi uNkulunkulu kodwa kuthiwa ukuqala kokuhlakanipha ukwenza njani ukusaba uNkulunkulu, which means that if ungamazi uJehova into yokuqala ufanele uyisabe into emele uJehova okumfanekiso wakhe ophilayo okuwomunye umuntu. So asihlonipha abanye abantu uqala ukuhlakanipha.
This show was proudly brought to you by Intaba Melepas Tax Insurance Brokers. For an incredible affordable quote, call 031-012-5223 or visit the website www.intaba-insurance.co.za. At Intaba, we understand that every cent is worth saving. Intaba is a licensed financial service provider with FSP number 47111. Get a quote now so to see how much you can save. Guys, it's been a good show. Pumlan Shinga, Busangweni, we're signing off. Pumlan Shinga, Babagandalo, the Duke of KZN. Peace.
Peace.